welcome back to the show. I hope we got. I don't know how to recover from what we were talking about behind the scenes.
Well, it is. It's a very nice. It's a very nice Thursday evening.
It is, and we survived like 2 major storms too.
We did.
Yeah, with minimal damage.
I had a lovely close call, and I have to go get my car washed because of it.
Oh, did you get a haircut? I just now noticed.
Did you actually not notice?
Whoa,
before?
I didn't notice. No.
So the funny thing about that is so my hair had blonde streaks in it.
Yeah.
So what I had asked the barber is, I said, I don't really care how my hair ends up. Just want all the blonde gone. Well, didn't exactly work. There's still a streak of blonde about this big across the top of my head.
Yeah, as long as you're wearing headphones.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
That's the plan.
Okay, so wait, what were you saying before that? Or
I don't know.
wait, I thought you were leading into something else.
We had.
Well, okay, so
I was, but I forgot my segue, and it was a really good segue.
Welcome out.
Welcome out.
Welcome back to the show, Drapsnat. I see you're on, and 01 Ella. Thanks for joining us again. Today is National Burrito Day, which I'm super excited. I'm definitely celebrating this.
You know what? That's what I was trying to think of. My mother told me it was National Burrito Day earlier because she got a thing from Chipotle saying it's National Burrito Day.
Come on in.
Give us money.
Right.
Get a burrito.
We should let all of our viewers know that today's National Burrito Day. Please give us money.
Yeah. We'll make you a burrito and send it to you. We can't promise it'll be warm when it reaches you or still edible.
I'm gonna put the Discord on here if you guys like to join our Discord. We need people to talk. You could also
that's fair.
You can also donate money, I think, easily that way too. Here's our YouTube channel if you'd like to see some of our past episodes.
Yeah, I think that they're all on there, right?
I think they're all. I think just a few of them are not.
You can see the transformation and the growth and loss of all the different facial hair that we've had.
That's right.
Your beard to stubble to clean shaven, back to stubble, back to clean shaven.
Yeah. So here is something that's kind of funny. It's National Sorry Charlie Day.
Who's Charlie?
I feel like that's a rejection thing.
I think it is.
We got to click on this. National Sorry Charlie Day on April 6th each year encourages us to view rejection from a different perspective. Are we? Oh.
Okay, wait. Okay, so rejection from a different perspective, but like a good perspective. Is that what it's supposed to be about? It's supposed to be like, don't take it too hard.
It's a day to think about the times we've been rejected, whether we've been rejected by a sweetheart or a colleague, a prospective employer, or a bank for a loan. We've all been refused. This day gives us an opportunity to reflect on how we've survived the rejection, what we learned from it. So it's not necessarily dating.
So for all you people that did your taxes and then got rejected by the federal and the state for money back, look at it as a different as a different perspective. Don't think too harshly.
Picture this chick here. She just dumped this guy, so she's free if you're looking.
She doesn't look like she's making an attempt. She's like, look, dog.
Yeah,
don't even worry about it.
Actually, she screams high maintenance. Go for somebody else.
Kind of does.
Okay. So this one's the funny one, okay?
Okay.
So it's National Employee Benefits Day. And what's hilarious about this is the day changes annually. So you don't know when to celebrate it.
Okay.
And
why does it change?
So if you're not getting employee benefits, they don't know when to celebrate it because they just sneak it in there every once in a while.
It's like, oh, we forgot employee benefits. It's in July this year.
It's also National Caramel Popcorn Day.
I do like some good caramel
National Tartan Day, if you like...
is it a collar? Cloth?
Scottish heritage.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't want to say the wrong people.
You know,
like,
that's
like, whoa.
That's fair.
Celebrate your inner Scottish with National Tartan Day,
Deep fry everything.
right? And then National Carbonara Day.
I don't know if I've ever had a carbonara.
The flavors of Italy celebrated Carbonara Day. This delicious pasta dish is made up of creamy sauce with bits of pancetta.
I read that entirely wrong.
Little bitty, it's almost like bacon.
It looks like.
But I
That's
think
what
you
I
can
thought.
eat raw.
Well, because the pictures
Deceiving.
small in the back. I thought it was like loaded waffle fries.
No, see, that's kind of would be better than that. National Teflon Day. So swap out your pans for Teflon. National Students Athlete Day, which I wasn't one. I mean, I did soccer for a little bit, but I wasn't very good at it.
Also, I never was one for my school.
Yeah.
I played for the Park District.
See, and the Park District, I think, does a better job of it anyway.
And then I refed for the Park District, and I learned that every game is rigged, so it doesn't matter.
That's not cool.
It was. There was a call that I was supposed to make for a goal, and I went to make the call, and I got told by one of the other refs I couldn't make the call because the goal didn't happen. Even though we just watched it happen.
That's not cool.
And then on one of my final times playing soccer, I had a corner kick, kicked it in.
Uh-huh.
The line's here, the ball makes it to here, and the goalie catches it, but he catches it over the line. I celebrate, nobody else does. They didn't count it.
Give a shout out to Alicidra, welcome back, and Lisa, how would you say that? Bay?
Lisa Bay?
Lisa Bay?
I think Lisa Bay.
Lisa Bay? I think Lisa's been here before, yeah?
I believe so, yes.
Well, welcome back to the show.
Welcome on back to the show.
And, hold on just a second. Let's see.
Okay.
I don't forget anything.
I do.
I try to forget
I will
things.
admit.
I was at work today, and I was on somebody else's computer.
Okay.
Speaking of forgot, I just forgot what I was going to say.
Right after you had said, I forget nothing.
Okay, so...
Well, so besides that...
Besides that, I have a lot of good news. I feel really bad because I had somebody send in something like today, and I didn't have time to add it into it. So I will get it to it next week, I promise.
Okay.
It's really neat. I know it's prom season, and this girl was looking for a prom dress. And so next week, you'll hear the prom dress story.
Oh, is it like the Danny DeVito girl?
It is...
Do you know about the Danny DeVito girl?
I don't.
There's a girl who wanted to take Danny DeVito to prom. So what she had done was she took a life-size cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito with her to her prom. I think it was a prom. It was some sort of celebration. And word of this reached Danny DeVito, who then put a picture of himself online with a life-size cutout of this girl.
Nice.
So he took her to a dance, and she took him to a dance.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that dope?
That's cool. So my friends went to the Comic-Con this weekend.
Yeah, I heard that happened.
And her daughter couldn't make it. So she took a photo of her daughter, and in every picture of them, the photo is there with posing with other people.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of like a flat Stanley.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool to do things like that.
Yeah. As for Danny DeVito, I've never wanted to take Danny DeVito to a dance.
I want to take Danny DeVito to a bar mitzvah. just to see what happens.
Okay. Getting on to our, I don't know how to segue into my first.
On to the point of this show.
The good news, the good news part of it. My very first article it looks rough. This picture looks kind of rough.
The picture does not look good.
I'm going to put it up here. this is the plane. But a hero pilot, okay,
Okay.
guides this novice aviator in an emergency landing after he sees her tire fall off.
The picture of the lady is the novice aviator.
Yep.
Okay.
And she takes off. Well, okay. So this young pilot is thanking her lucky stars there was someone on hand to guide her down into an emergency landing after she lost part of her landing gear during takeoff. Chris Yates, a veteran pilot at the airport, radioed the control tower to alert them of the potential disaster, but the control tower operators had never seen it happen before and didn't know what to do. The tower patched Yates through to the young pilot, whose name was Taylor Hash. Hash was only on her third ever solo flight, and the anxiety was thick in her voice. Taylor, this is Chris. My daughter's name is Taylor, and I taught her to fly. We're gonna be just fine, kiddo. We're among the first things he said. I like how he's like trying to,
I would say my first thought was, okay, I appreciate that, Chris, but this information is irrelevant at the moment.
right. I don't know, like I feel like I just started all of a sudden like my phone's getting bombed.
Hear me out, right?
Okay.
Picture the plane without landing gear.
Right.
Now imagine in the Sahara, like a bobcat. I don't know if they're in the Sahara, but imagine like an animal.
Probably not. But that's okay.
Imagine an animal dipping down to get a drink from a lake. Okay. That's what that looks like.
It kind of does. Okay, so a student pilot, Hash, was up in a Diamond Star single-engine aircraft from Oakland County International Airport, Michigan. At the time of the incident, she had 57 total flight hours, which isn't really a lot.
It's not that much, but
No. Yeah.
it's good practice.
Yeah. Yates, the former director of aviation at SpaceX, managed to calm down with the comment about his daughter before beginning to instruct her on how to make an emergency landing. Hash would have had to land without a front tire, so Yates told her to keep circling the field until she felt ready to try and land the plane. When you touch down, I just want that stick all the way back. You're going to hold that stick back like you don't want the nose to touch. He could be heard saying over the radio, the recorded radio conversation. The nose is going to come down. You're okay. Talk to me. That a girl. Proud of you.
This feels a touch awkward without having like both sides of the.
Yeah. WXYZ News Detroit shared another video of the landing taken by two onlookers who remarked, beautiful, beautiful, as she managed to touch down without the nose immediately smashing into the ground. I was thinking of my daughter and just how afraid and alone Hash probably felt. Yates told NBC News correspondent Gaddy Schwartz. NBC News Today interviewed Hash, who told them that as soon as he said, "That a girl," she goes, "I'm proud of you." The waterworks came, Hash said, with Yates revealing he too was crying. The FFA had stated they are investigating what the cause of the malfunction was, while Hash has said that despite the frightening incident, she has no plans to give up flying.
Now hear me out.
I'm listening.
You become a pilot, right?
Uh-huh.
You lose your landing gear,
Right.
and then you have to land exactly like this. How much damage do you think a landing like this actually does to a plane like that?
That plane is total.
Like it scrapes off the paint naturally, but do you think it would have enough speed to burn like through the actual hull of the plane before it comes to a stop?
I think how big the plane is and all that stuff, it probably could potentially, I would think. Something this small probably stopped right away, but the fuselage is like shot.
Yeah, it looks like a front rotor plane too.
Yeah.
So it's not getting back up at the very least.
Right. Hopefully it wasn't her plane.
Hopefully not, because that's a new plane.
I'm hoping it's like a rich guy who's like, you know what, we'll just replace it with something else.
If you're lucky, it's very well insured.
It's very well insured. So, I just remember that I have to actually renew my pilot's license this year. So,
Yeah,
I might be expiring it.
So what's all the things you have to do to get a pilot's license?
You just have to like study a course, and then so there are different types of licensing.
Well, yeah, I assume you need a different license to fly like commercial 747 than you do to fly a little one propeller
Yeah, but
weighing.
not so much. But that's kind of like driving a car versus
Yeah.
driving a semi.
Yeah.
You need a special CDL for a semi. It's a lot like just driving a car. You go to class, you do it, you're with an instructor, you fly in a plane, they fly with you, then you get your license after you pass an actual test of just like a driving test, only in an airplane.
So I've been in an airplane twice.
You're talking about commercial or a little one?
I've been in one little one. I've flown a little one, and I have been in a commercial one.
Okay.
We had to, when I was a kid, I went with my friend Alex and his dad to the what's the main, not the main airport out in Chicago, but the one closer to us.
Yeah, Midway.
Yeah, we went to that one, and they were doing a little fly day where you could go up with, you could take the kid, go up with a pilot and whatnot, and the pilot takes us up, and the pilot goes, "Hey, I've disabled my controls. You're in control now. So here's what I'm gonna have you do." And he just instructed me on how to fly. And he's like, "You're gonna slowly pull up on the stick and turn it right." I'm like, "Okay." Realizing that I am now in control of an aircraft.
I'm in control.
It was really fun at the time. When I got back on the ground, the realization hit me of, this dude never disabled his controls.
He probably didn't. No.
He probably didn't.
What you should have done is just grab the microphone. This is the captain speaking. I'm going to need a bag of those little peanuts, please.
Could you read? There will be no in-flight snacks on this ride. I have eaten them all.
So, speaking of in-flight snacks,
Yeah.
in case you might be, thinking about dieting,
I actually am.
yeah, this new ingredient helps manage obesity.
All right.
This thing right here, there it is.
It looks like raw meat.
It kind of looks like beef jerky. I was going to say,
It
yeah,
does.
kind of. It's actually a roselle plant.
It looks like a stomped-on rose.
Yeah. This little unassuming plant and the antioxidants it contains could be a legitimate health food weight loss supplement. After a landmark trial found it decreased fat absorption. When human fat cells were treated with polyphenols contained in the flour, they inhibited the production of the chief enzyme that converts dietary fat into stored fat into our cells. One of the co-authors, a food scientist and former farmer from Nepal, believes that it could replace many of the side effect-inducing pharmaceutical substances taken to Genesis fat loss in Australian public.
That's a
Yeah,
this
I got
side
through it.
effect-inducing pharmaceutical substance.
Yeah. I made it though.
It's a mouthful.
Okay, try it again. Give me a beatbox. Here we go. Side effect-inducing pharmaceutical substances.
Yeah, exactly. You just gotta hit your proper syllables. Hit them with the side effect inducing pharmaceutical substances taken to the genetics fat loss.
Boy.
Very nice,
Okay.
very nice.
So, there's nothing wrong with A, trying to find a food-based alternative to synthetic medications, and B, trying to use health foods as a way to aid in weight loss. Roselle flower, which is the hibiscus sabadarifa, it's a hibiscus flower, okay? Dried and brewed in teas, is a common sight in traditional Chinese medicine shops, which offer long legacy of other proven plant medications such as the reishi mushroom. From cinnamon to fennel seed, there are all kinds of plant materials touted for having health benefits. But often the funding just isn't there for dedicated scientific research to prove such claims either way. Fortunately, PhD candidate Mashia Singh was able to do just that. She treated human stem cells with the polyphenol compounds in roselle flowers, which stains it and everything it touches red, before turning them into fat cells called adipocytes. Most cells can become fat cells. All they have to do is receive a biological command to absorb fat, usually through the diet. The fat cells treated with the polyphenols absorb 95% fewer fats than the non-treated ones. The phenolic extracts from the roselle could help create a health food product that is effective in interfering with the formation of fat cells, but also bypass the bad side effects of some medications, said Singh. PhD supervisor Professor Benyu Adhikari at Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, which is kind of funny that, he's losing weight. But
Yeah.
I guess with the technology, if you just sit behind a desk all day long, you're going to want to eat some good polyphenols
It's like
from Roselle, huh?
even when he's not working, he's working.
Yeah. Singh had previously found that Roselle extracts contain some of the chemicals present in weight loss medications like Orlistat and
Just keep
there's like chemicals present in some other medications. Okay,
the Roglitude.
Yeah, she discovered it inhibited the function of lipase, an enzyme used in the body to break large dietary fats down into smaller ones to be absorbed in the cells. By inhibiting this enzyme, the fat cannot be absorbed and is passed through, when you go to the bathroom, as waste. Roselle isn't difficult to cultivate in bulk, and powdered into a capsule form could create the ultimate aid to a healthy diet and exercise for weight loss, since it was only observed stopping fats from entering the cells and had no side effect on fat already inside the cells. So you have to do the exercise, get rid of what you got.
Yeah.
But if you eat this with your
Wheaties.
I was going to say burrito from Taco Bell, it'll keep the bad stuff from sticking around with you.
Fair enough. Fair
enough. Give a shout out to Kata.
So, here's the question, right?
I'm listening.
People find this article. People
Uh-huh.
read this article. How long until someone tries to just eat the plant? They grow the plant and they're just picking it out of the garden,
Just eating it yourself.
right on in there. Like it's got the good enzymes in it. It's good.
I'm feeling like we should do that on the next show.
Tell you what, $5. I'll eat a plant.
I think you just have it as a tea too, but yeah, I'll eat it.
I mean, I have experienced this. I ate plants until I was like 14.
I hang out with people who love their salads, and I would rather put a little bit of a salad on top of my burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a layer.
As a kid, I thought that as the leaves changed color with the season, they got different flavors.
They do.
I learned this as well. They do. I learned that the deader it is, the more bitter its flavor.
The deader. That is hilarious.
There's no surprise quite like grabbing a dead leaf, biting it, and it turns to powder in your mouth. Yeah, exactly.
You probably did the cinnamon challenge too, didn't you?
No, I didn't. See, I'm not that stupid.
So I just eat dead leaves and worms.
I just eat dead plants.
Okay. My next article is actually pretty neat. It kind of looks like an underwater castle here almost.
It actually does.
It's not, but a new shoreline protection looks like really big, massive Lego blocks.
You know what it is? This is it. It's the final form of Mega Blocks. It is.
I just thought of something that I'm going to have to show you after the show. Just remind me the final form of
the final form.
I will remember. So these Lego block looking things protect the shoreline, and actually they double as a home for marine life. Because those are not, in fact, giant Lego blocks.
Despite their appearance.
This is off the port of Rotterdam. They're part of a new seawall that doubles as a home for marine life, a kind of artificial oyster reef to help safeguard populations of mussels, fish, crustaceans, and other animals. The bricks are claimed to be the first artificial solution that truly enhances biodiversity. It is long-lasting enough to prevent offshore erosion of the seabed from waves, and strong enough to disrupt incoming storms. In nature, as well as being the beautiful wonderlands that they are, coral reefs can absorb 97% of the energy of a storm surge, preventing both the seafloor from erosion and the terrestrial ecosystem above. Every year on Malaysia's Perhentian Islands, rainy season storms are prevented from damaging the island's forests and structures by the rich coral reefs. Battered by the waves, the reefs nearest to the shore break apart and die before being slowly ground up into the soft white sand typical of tropical beaches. The corals regrow and the cycle continues. Artificial reefs are not as flexible or beneficial for the environment. They tend to be made as cheaply as possible, either with waste products like old cars or solid concrete that doesn't make room for nature. Wave breaks and seawalls are much the same, but cement blocks repel the force of a wave but don't disperse it. Instead, the rebounding wave mixes with the force of the subsequent wave to become even stronger. The Dutch startup Reefies, Lego-like blocks, tackle two of these limitations by making holes in the blocks, allowing the waves to expend its energy going through the block rather than bouncing off of it. The holes also allow animals to pass through or make their homes inside. Whoops. The outside of the low-carbon concrete is textured to encourage the growth of mussels and oysters, while a reefy paint of calcium carbonate is being developed as a kind of supplement for the bivalves. Hit this button here. I think I've got another picture. Here we go.
Oh, that looks dope.
Yeah. The idea of having these blocks is provide the foundation for nature to take over and have a living layer that can grow with the sea level rise and self-heal in order to attract these key species, which are, in a way, the architects of the underwater world. Reefy CEO Jamie Asensio told Fast Company. Just like Legos, the bricks can be interconnected into any kind of shape. The one spanning from the mouth of the river at Rotterdam port is made of 17 bricks and is 80 feet long and 10 feet high. The company's proprietary technology analyzes the force and angle of the waves to determine the optimal pattern for reducing wave energy. There are other parts of the world getting serious about reef replacement for climate-proof coastal infrastructure. Last year, a company reported on an Israeli team of scientists that created a method for 3D printing artificial ceramic reefs based on the dimensions of photographs of the real reefs. So, it's pretty cool.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
The like a Zen garden where they draw the rake
This one kind of
through
does.
the sand.
This one kind of does. But the way they move it, it's to let the oysters and stuff kind of work their way up in there and thrive, I suppose.
I mean, I think it's good because there's the huge problem with the coral reefs bleaching.
I'm not gonna lie, I just like Legos.
Legos are pretty dope. Not gonna lie, do like a good set of Lego.
So this guy in my next article, I don't know if you can see him right behind me. He's known as Nestman.
Nestman.
Nestman, not Mothman.
Nestman.
Not Batman. Not Spider-Man.
Superman.
I feel like you have Spider-Man, Iron Man, and then Moon Knight.
There's Ant-Man.
I know, but like, how did Moon Knight? How come he's not Moon Man?
Because he is the knight of. He is Kantu's, whatever his name is, knight. He's the protector.
Yeah, I feel like there should be a man. It's like a thing.
Moon Man.
Moon Man. So this is Nestman. He's from India, and he's built 250,000 homes for sparrows. And now he's training students to build more.
Oh.
In the second largest greater metropolitan area on Earth, one man's dedication and love of the common sparrow have the potential to transform a generation of young Indians. Rakesh Katatri, I guess, known as the Nestman of India, has also found sparrows a sort of great joy, and even growing up in the bustling streets of Delhi, I guess, where he saw the simple seed-eating birds. He was gladdened. In an effort to make sure the sparrows of Delhi, have a home in the big city, Nestman builds nests out of coconut husks, cotton, and a bunch of other materials. He has already hosted nest building workshops in 3,500 schools across India, totaling more than 100,000 pupils. On my way to my office in South Delhi, I would see a large number of birds that would give me great joy. One day I saw a couple of men cementing the holes in the pipes where birds had taken refuge. When I told them I would file a complaint with the National Green Tribunal, they stopped immediately. Nestman told The Guardian, referring to the statutory body that deals with environmental cases. Before the 1980s, industrial boom in Delhi, which is Nestman's home near a bustling marketplace, was filled with sparrows. The terrace of his family's house had several nests there, and his family used to wake to their pleasant chirping every morning. More and more, the small nooks and crannies in the old buildings where the sparrows would nest were disappearing, and so Nestman sought to ensure that they remained welcome in Delhi by starting the Eco Roots Foundation and teaching school children to build their nests for them. His efforts, the Better India reports, has resulted in nearly 500,000 nests being made entirely out of recycled or biodegradable natural materials. There's no greater blessing than building a home for a sparrow whose home has been snatched by humanity, says the Nestman. We need nature, but nature doesn't need us. If we wish to live and keep ourselves happy, then we need to work together with nature because she supports us the most.
He's building a nest army.
I feel like, what happens when the birds forget how to build their own nests?
Fair point.
Because out here, there's a problem with, like, eagles. Because we have all these free-range chickens.
Yeah.
And the eagles are like, whoa. It's like Uber.
Food.
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
There's this little bird, and it can't fly away. And they just swoop in and, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, and the problem is these
Are they forgetting how to hunt?
the young eagles don't know how to hunt anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I guess as long as the chickens
Yeah.
don't go extinct.
The chickens. No, we'll make more. So, let me see here. I was already on it. Okay.
Wow.
So, we have another hero story.
Yeah?
Yes.
Who's our hero of the time?
So the first one was the airplane.
Yep.
This one was a little bit more life or death, with minutes, I think. But this skier rescued a snowboarder who was buried headfirst in the snow and running out of air.
That looks like a lot of snow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A hero skier saved the life of a snowboarder completely buried headfirst in a massive snowdrift. Francis Zuber was maneuvering around the tops of trees in deep powder on Mount Baker in northwestern Washington state, probably without any indication he might end up in the right place at the right time to be a hero. It was a 1 in a million chance that Zuber spotted him at all. He had only just fallen off his own skis in the bumpy tree well, just a few feet away from a trapped snowboarder, when he spotted the man's snowboard wriggling around just above the drifts. He realized it was still attached to someone below. From the downhill perspective, the tree was blocking the snowboard from view of oncoming skiers, and only because Zuber fell in an adjacent drift did he happen to see it. Francis's head cam shows him approaching the scene and asking, "You all right?" But after receiving no response, he hurries over as best as he can in the deep snow before removing his skis, pulling himself up in the snow mound, and frantically digging with his hands. Zuber can be heard reassuring the snowboarder until the man's reflective visor pokes out of the snow, and then his mouth, at which point he takes a big gulp of air. I saw this video.
Yeah.
There are very colorful words.
Coming out of the skier or the snowboarder? Or both?
It's very high intense scene.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, the snowboarder says. "Yeah, no problem," Zuber replied, adding that they were both going to catch their breath. "All I'll say for now is the mountains don't care how much skill or experience you have," Zuber wrote alongside his own uploaded video. "They don't even care if you and your ski partners are doing everything right." Zuber recommends every backcountry skier and snowboarder take the AV1, which is an avalanche safety and rescue course. Take
Fair
an
enough.
AV1 course and get trained on what to do if you find yourself in this situation, and always look out for each other out there, Zuber said. But yeah, the video is very intense.
I feel like I got to see this video. I'm very
You
interested
can.
in the choice words
Yeah.
that were said.
Yes. There's a lot of golly gee and such
You
in there.
think they were swearing
Yeah,
and
and like,
they were sailing
shucks.
instead of skiing?
Shucks.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
shucks.
Yeah. But it's really good. I mean, literally saved the guy's life.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I can't imagine being like stuck upside down. I mean, it's got to be comedic, but at the same time, no air and you can't move and everything's pinned together, what do? Can't do anything
Yeah, that's fair.
except for wait for Zuber to come and
Yeah.
Uber you out.
Uber ski.
Zuber ski.
Zuber ski.
So, keeping along the line of heroes,
Okay.
my next article is also kind of a heroic thing. Oh, let's do this full screen. There we go. A chef. Well, okay, down in Baltimore Inner Harbor, the sous chef of a beloved restaurant, Phillips Seafood, replaced his apron for a cape as he effected a heroic rescue of a drowning motorist. An unidentified man drove straight into the frigid and filthy mid-March harbor water after suffering what reports say was a mental health crisis. Seeing this, sous chef Tom Walsh jumped in to rescue him. "I hope he's okay," said witness Cher Briscoe. "But the man that saved him, I hope he gets a reward and some money." Once in the water, Walsh proved himself to be immensely strong because he was able to break open the glass of the car with his elbow, an effort that saw him spend a short while in the hospital recovering. According to the restaurant spokesperson who identified Walsh to news media, Walsh is humble, private, and does not want attention. Nevertheless, witnesses have no doubt in their minds the man is a hero. Walsh has since been discharged from the hospital.
Can you imagine he just on the top, he just elbow drops the window. That's how he did it in one go.
I know that it looks really nice and easy and everything.
Windows are really durable.
On the movies.
Yeah, no, windows are really, really durable.
Yeah, but when you see like Arnold just like punch his way through or whatever, I've experienced two emergencies. One of them was like a medical emergency, and the other one was a fire. And kicking in a door is not easy.
It's not easy.
I remember like kicking it and like ramming into it, and all of a sudden, and your brain just goes through stuff, especially when you can hear somebody on the other end like screaming. But stuff like this, I want this guy. Maybe I should be a chef.
A sous chef?
And just
sous chef. It's just code for super chef.
Okay, so I'd like to give a shout out to Lurks.
Oh, Lurks is back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Lurks.
Lurks.
Thanks for watching. I know we've missed you the last few shows, and I know we've kind of played with the time a little bit, but thanks for watching. My next article, unless you have something to add to the Super Chef.
Windows suck to break.
They do, and actually you don't want to, but I guess you're saving somebody's life.
We learned this is a method you'll probably never have to put into test. It takes to break a regular glass window that you'd put on a house. If you have a rolled up newspaper, it takes the average grown man 27 full force throws at a window to break it with a newspaper.
Whoa.
And it can be done. I've seen it happen.
Whoa.
I didn't think you could, but yeah, no, if you keep throwing at a window with a rolled up newspaper, it will break eventually.
Whoa. Okay. We're going to try this.
We're gonna try this.
Not my car, but maybe your sister's.
Yeah. She won't miss it. We're fine.
It's summertime.
Exactly. And besides,
help cool her off.
Well, and how's she gonna explain it? Yeah, our newspaper broke my window.
Right. Well, speaking of cooling you off,
Okay.
my next article, you want to know how to cool houses without AC?
I would love to.
Scientists have now discovered that one way would be to turn the roof and walls into a beetle shell.
You've lost me.
Kind of like the new Blue Beetle movie that's coming out.
I haven't seen the trailer, but I've
But-
heard good things about it.
I think it's the kid from Cobra Kai is in there. He stars in the show. Yeah. Well, anyway, if you turn into a beetle shell, because tiny nanostructures on the beetle's exoskeleton made of cellulose capture light and send it bouncing off while separating it into different wavelengths. This is why they appear to shimmer in greens and purples, kind of like they're covered in oil.
Yeah.
More importantly, however, when the same nanostructures are pasted to the outside of a house, they can keep it 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit cooler during the day and 20 degrees Fahrenheit cooler during the night.
I'm feeling this.
Yeah, some scientists are worried that too much energy will be used for air conditioning in a climate that is warmed by 1.5 degrees Celsius. Now, why did they change it to Celsius and Fahrenheit here? I don't know.
That is a fair point.
Yeah. And so, devoting their time to come up with energy-less ways to cooling homes. Now scientists at the University of Cambridge are turning to cellulose nanomaterials inspired by nature that would create iridescent houses that are self-cooling. The usual way to generate the color is dye, but dye will absorb light and heat up. And that counteracts the cooling effect. King Shen Shen, a postdoctoral researcher at Cambridge, told Fast Company. Expecting people to use ultra-white paint is unrealistic because it would damage the eyes of your neighbors. And if everyone in the neighborhood used it, it would be an intolerable place to live.
It's like
driving in the snow.
Driving in the snow on no clouds in the sky, full sun.
Just, I
can't see.
Right. As Shen explains, though, color generally absorbs heat rather than reflects it. But their invention of the thin nanostructure film made of cellulose under thin film of white was able to generate over 120 watts of cooling power, as much as some air conditioners.
Huh.
Yeah. We wanted to make it cheap, Shen added. That's why we use cellulose-based materials. Cellulose nanocrystals can be extracted from wood or cotton. Cellulose is the most abundant polymer in nature. I think we get cellulose from like corn stalks out here.
I think we do.
When pasted over walls or rooftops, the material could meaningfully assist in cooling the interior of the house and reduce electricity usage by a fair amount. The colors could make a house look pretty, psychedelic in the sunshine, though, so the team is probably better off leaving the marketing for major coastal cities. So, after we break your sister's window, if we put this on the back, it'll be good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't see out of it.
Won't have to use the air conditioning ever again. It'll be all right. She'll have to figure something out in the winter, but other than that.
Right. Okay. Now, this next one is going to probably make you happy. If you're single.
Okay. That was a personal attack that I did not need.
Yeah. It's like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, that was...
You're really going to love this because you're sad and lonely.
You know what? Do the show by yourself, dog.
Okay. Let's see. Oh,
right,
no other sad and lonely.
Let's hear about it. Why am I... Let's hear what will solve my sad and loneliness.
This right here. Boom.
Women. Yeah, that's about it.
A newcomer to the big city life started a Facebook group to make their new friends, and it grew to 20,000 people in just a few years. The London Lonely Girls Club was founded by 26-year-old Holly Cook, who arrived from Stoke-on-Trent, a big city in itself, but providential compared to London. From 2018 to 2022, it attracted 10,000 young women who, like Cook, found it hard to make new friends. Just in 2022, it grew to 31,000, and now there are 5 or 6 members organizing fun events like brunches, game nights, cocktail parties, and picnics.
I wonder what the funding is like for this.
Yeah, you just bring your wallet and you put in a $5 or whatever.
That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah. London is so big, it leaves a lot of space for loneliness. I Googled how to make friends in London, Cook told the BBC. People feel it in so many different ways. London is so transient. Some just move here, others have been here their whole life. She had originally tried platonic meetup apps like Bumble BFF, but found the process a bit dodgy. I would too. She wished she could get 3 or 4 of the people she would meet on it together at once, which gave her the idea of starting the group. There you go.
Okay.
She now says the group events are getting fully booked in minutes. Groups like these are becoming semi-common in English news media. In 2022, one of the news agencies reported on the Proper Blokes Club, a mental health walking club where men of all ages can go on a walk through the city and share their struggles.
Yes, dear Winston, I'm going to tell you. The Proper Blokes Club. I'm having problems. Did you hear about my wife? The sound of the... I mean, I know it's pretty much the same thing. But just the fact they call it the Proper Blokes Club.
I know.
I just imagine a bunch of men in top hats walking around the city in canes being like, so the price of gas has gone up again.
Want to go for a walk? No, I'm going to have a martini.
Everyone just sounds like Sean Connery.
Shaken, not stirred. Okay, founder Scott Oaten Johnson wasn't lonely. Rather, he had gone through a long custodial battle and painful separation, started the group after a video invitation to go for a walk and talk, produced a really great evening with a friend of his. Through the club, walk leaders organize walks to share in each other's difficulties through the talking and walking from Monday to Thursday all around England, not just in London. The men's shed movement isn't found only in Britain, though a chapter was recently founded in Barnsley. But in the whole of the English-speaking world, the Barnsley chapter was launched by 67-year-old Philip Jackson and moved back to England from Australia and immediately felt like a stranger. The original concept was to get together and make things out of wood. But in reality, it's about plugging into the social fabric of a community, whether that's through meetup for coffee, building a park bench, or listening to the problems of someone who's going through in their marriage. It's like the shed at the bottom of your garden, Jackson told The Guardian, but all your friends are there. It's a break from people's weekly routine. It gets them out and talking to similar people. The Australian men's shed movement has 1,200 chapters across that country, and they're springing up in the U.S. There's 17 of them here, Britain, and Canada. So
we have
yeah,
the Lonely Girls Club.
you can hang out with a bunch of old guys and go for a walk,
or you
can meet up with these chicks. There's puppies.
Man, look. After I saw this picture, don't care about the women. I care about the dog in the front right there.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 puppies in this picture.
There is 9 puppies in the picture.
Yeah.
I could do with just the puppies. I'm good.
9 puppies. 9 puppies. Okay. Sorry.
So no, it's all right. So it's called the Men's Shed Club.
Men's Shed Club.
But they build more than just sheds.
They're less about building sheds and more about just the social interaction.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
the shed is more like
the encompassing.
Like you would meet at your shed to talk with your neighbor about whatever. It's kind of like that. Just that I don't know. I don't get the Australian vernacular of using that particular phrase. I don't know why they call your trunk a boot either.
Well, the hood is a bonnet.
We had this guy visiting from Australia. We were in Alabama, and he's like, "Hey, I need to go get something from my boot." I was like, "What do you keep in your boot?" He's like, "I also like change of clothes." You keep a change of clothes wrapped up in your boots? You weirdo. And now I realize that when he got to the trunk, I was like, "The trunk?" He's like, "A trunk? That's what's on an elephant. What are you talking about?" I was like, "A boot's what's on your foot." So we just had an argument.
Yeah, no, it sounds about right. I would have.
I just realized that we're not on the screen. Okay. Wow.
No,
everybody got a good look at those dogs. Well, and my next article is actually about dogs.
About dogs. All right, let's hear about.
Did you see how I did that segue?
That was a pretty good segue.
I kind of planned on it a little bit.
It's pretty. You timed it up really good. Sentence structure was nice. You're all good.
So
that's a dog.
That's a dog. A South Korean startup has developed an AI-based app that scans your dog's nose print. Did you know that dogs had nose prints?
Well,
I didn't.
Well, I think if I ran my nose into something hard enough, I'd have a nose print too.
Scans your dog's nose print and places it into a crowdsourced database that anyone can access to identify the owner of a lost dog. It turns out a dog's nose prints are just as individual as a human's thumbprint, and the advantage of using it to identify a lost dog over a microchip is that no one has a microchip scanner in their house. Anyone who has lost track of their cat or dog knows the fear experienced by the thought of never seeing them again. Collar tags and microchips can be good ways for Good Samaritans to help reunite lost animals with their owners, but tags and collars can fall off, while microchips are not accessible for anyone who doesn't want to drive to the vet's office. The team at Yonsei University has honed their AI to a 99% accuracy, which they've now released for free through the Pet Now app on marketplaces in South Korea, Spain, and the US. I am going to put this in our chat if you guys want to look it up. It's the Pet Now app.
I have found it.
Yes. Pet owners register their dog's nose print by taking a picture with their smartphone. Cat owners are in luck too because the algorithm can ID cats by their whole face rather than just the nose.
Okay.
Once the image is captured, it's stored in the PetNows database. Anyone, including those who may come across a lost animal, can take a picture of its nose or face and see if it matches with one on the app, providing an instant set of contact info for the owner. Because it's not always easy to look for a lost dog to sit still, it's not easy for, I'm sorry, because it's not always easy to, yeah, it's not easy for a lost dog to sit still. I guess the app deploys 3 kinds of AI to identify a nose print, even if the nose is moving around. With a crowdsourced database as the foundation of its ideas, PetNow's team needs as many people as possible to use the app, and for shelters, vet clinics, and other pet businesses to get the word out. So that's what we did.
So
We got the word out.
I've installed it.
We've installed it.
I've installed it. It has the option to pick a dog or a cat, and then right underneath it, there's the option to say report a pet you found, or put out an alert saying you've lost your pet. That I'm assuming will send a ping to other people that have it in your area.
That's pretty cool. If you have, if you scanned it, they've identified you, and you said, "I found this dog," and it just contacts your phone and says, "Whoa, we got your dog."
Yeah. And then they have there's an explore part which has tips to help you scan your dog better, how to navigate the app. You can even get your pet's fingerprint apparently.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is dope.
It is. It is. It's worth looking into. Let's see
That's
here.
cool. I like that. I'm gonna scan my dogs after this and put them in the matrix.
Put them in the matrix. Well, it works for cats too.
It does.
And speaking of cats,
Speaking of cats,
check out this cat heaven.
all right.
Cat heaven.
Cat heaven.
There it is.
That's cat heaven.
That is cat heaven.
Yep.
In the great use of vertical space, a woman's mom built hanging cat beds and walkways for their 5 beloved felines.
Crazy cat lady.
We had 5 cats, but only 2 sleeping places, explained their owner. This seriously had to change. The only normal thing anyone would do in this kind of situation is building a cat ceiling heaven, wrote the French-speaking Rumble user Merlin and Narina, which is all one word, which is hard for me to sound out there for a second. Anyway, they posted the video. They love building stuff for the cats. 4 ragdolls named Merlin, Narina, Pistache, Piccolo, and Lady, an American Curl. Yeah, Lady, an American Curl. They each have their own wooden cubbies and handcrafted in the garden. The first 2 cats were way too leery to use the beautifully constructed rope bridges until Merlin, the pack leader, led the way without an issue. The ragdoll is a breed of large cat with a distinct collar point coat and blue eyes with a silk soft coat, known for their docile temperament and affectionate nature.
So
It's pretty cool though, right?
it looks great. So the person says they only had 2 sleeping spaces
Yes.
for the cats. I don't know about you. In my interactions with cats, they sleep wherever they want.
Most of the time they'll just all over everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I suppose this does keep them from getting cat hair all over everything.
Yeah.
Because now it's all in one spot.
You know where cats can't sleep?
Well, not the ceiling anymore. They're up there.
The moon.
I suppose you're right.
But
Okay.
this crack team of university students just a month away from launching the first privately made lunar rover onto the moon's surface. They can't send their cat up there, but we can send a rover.
Imagine being like, so what'd you do at school today, Jimmy? He's coming home, just like
I
this
shot
night-
my cat into the atmosphere. I shot my cat into the atmosphere.
You remember you said Fluffles looks like an astronaut
Right.
because of her coat? Well,
Slated for May the 4th, the unofficial holiday of the Star Wars franchise, the rover weighs just 2 kilograms, and the mission objectives include demonstrating its technology and snapping scientifically relevant images. Called Iris, the rover's design at Carnegie Mellon University's Pittsburgh campus will be carried to the moon aboard a United Launch Alliance Vulcan Centaur rocket alongside a multi-purpose payload. Back at Control Center, students on the project will work in teams and in shifts to send action commands and monitor the rover's health and progress as it carries out a 60-hour mission. Hundreds of students have poured thousands of hours into IRIS. We worked for years towards this mission, and to have a launch date on the calendar is an exciting step, says Raywin Duval, commander of the IRIS mission.
So I'm curious about?
Yeah.
How did they get the permissions to send something into space?
No one owns the moon.
No one owns the moon, but they have to send it through airspace. And you
No
gotta
one
get
owns the air.
Nobody owns the air. The air is the air.
No one owns the air because, I'm gonna.
Well, no one owns space, so
I'll keep that one to myself. I don't want to get like sniped or anything. Anyway, IRIS will open up lunar and space exploration by providing that a tiny, lightweight rover built by students can succeed on the moon. It will set a number of firsts. Only the U.S., Japan, and Russia have put rovers on the moon, so Duval's team will be the first civilian team to do so. Secondly, it will be the smallest and the lightest rover ever deployed. On board the rocket, another privately made space machine, the Peregrine lander, will bring IRIS down to the lunar surface. Peregrine was made by private space company Astrobotic and will serve as a delivery platform for astronauts working on the lunar surface in the next 20 years.
Oh, just farming on the moon.
Yeah. In preparation for the May 4th launch, the team at CMU has conducted dozens of training simulations to ensure they can handle potential issues that may arise across its primary mission and accompanied extended mission phase. So, May the 4th be with you.
I can just imagine them running their their training simulations. It's like, all right, what's today's training simulation? Oh, today's training simulation is the rocket's about to crash into the moon. What do we do?
I feel like we blew a tire.
Yeah.
We
The
didn't charge
rover
it up.
is currently immobile.
The rover has landed.
Yeah, it's pretty much that's what it is. It's just a different version.
So, a serious problem, I guess, if you're
Okay.
a 5-year-old, is what do you wear to the daddy-daughter dance, right?
Well, tell me,
They're-
as someone who once had a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
what do you wear to the daddy-daughter dance?
Well, in this case, an Oklahoma mom took a scissors to her old prom dress so that her little girl could wear it to her daddy-daughter dance. And here's the results. Lexi Nelson was struggling to find the perfect yet affordable dress for 5-year-old daughter Sterling when she suddenly remembered she still had her own prom dress. The 26-year-old mother of 3 had donned that dress 11 years ago when she joined her high school sweetheart, Dewey, for their prom. The couple had begun dating a couple of months before, after being schoolmates since they were 10, and 4 years later they were married. Lexi adored the turquoise dress and often put it on for fun and was praised by little Sterling, who called it Mommy's Elsa dress, which reminds me of a song we were listening
This
to.
reminds
before.
me of
Yeah.
You know it does.
Lexi called her own mom to help with the alterations, and the pair set about to shorten and slim down the dress. The two seamstresses played around with the dress, trying to rearrange it before cutting the tulle, I guess, at the bottom and tightening the chest to make it smaller, and they only needed around 2 hours on the sewing machine. When I first told Sterling before it was altered, "This is going to be your dress now," she was really confused, but she was so excited once we started cutting and sewing. When she tried it on, she didn't want to take it off. It looked adorable on her. Now she tells others, it's my Elsa dress. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get very emotional thinking about that moment. Lexi had to tell her that she couldn't wear the gown before the special dance, but afterwards she can wear it every day. Dewey woke up early and went to buy his daughter flowers, and Lexi got emotional snapping pictures of them wearing their outfits before the dance. Remembering our prom, I couldn't have imagined he would be such an amazing dad. Lexi is so happy that her mom, Karina Logan, is sentimental and held on to some of the old clothes. Now Sterling wears the dress so much the straps have ripped off, but Lexi has another going dress worn to another prom that Sterling might wear to her own formal dance in the future.
So, props to the photography on this, because it very conveniently hides the license plate.
Very conveniently. And also, I mean, Dad just wearing jeans?
Dad is wearing jeans.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, hey, he's a dad. He's got to be comfy.
He's a dad. We got what, time for one more?
I think so.
The next one's just kind of weird.
Okay.
Um,
How so?
so
Oh.
have you ever talked with plants?
No, but I have listened to plant music. Do you know about this? You know about plant music?
No.
People will plug in probes to like mushrooms and whatnot and run them through frequency emitters, and they make music.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what's happening in this picture right here.
Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Researchers have recorded sounds emitted by plants that no human can hear, and their click-like sounds are unique to each species and varied depending on what exactly is stressing their growth. Similar to the popping of popcorn, they are emitted at a volume similar to human speech, but at high frequencies beyond the hearing range of a human ear, according to the team from Tel Aviv University. We found that plants usually emit sounds when they are under stress, and that each plant and each type of stress is associated with a specific identifiable sound, said Professor Lilac Hadani from the School of Plant Sciences and Food Security, who lead the research team. While imperceptible to the human ear, the sounds emitted by plants can probably be heard by various animals, such as bats, mice, and insects.
So, the leader
Mm-hmm.
of plant sciences,
Mm-hmm.
who is also working with the project to listen to the plants,
Mm-hmm.
is named Lilac.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think it's pronounced lilac.
I don't think so,
I
but
guess from now on I'm going to read it that way.
it fits.
And he married a chick named Rose. From previous studies, we know that vibrometers attached to plants recorded vibrations. But do these vibrations also become airborne? Sound waves, namely sounds that can be recorded from a distance? Asked Professor Hadani. Our study addresses this question, which researchers have been debated for many years. So that's what you were listening to, the
Yes.
probes.
Yep.
Okay. For the first stage of the study, published in the journal Cell, the researchers placed plants in an acoustic box in a quiet, isolated basement with no background noise. Ultrasonic microphones record the sounds at higher frequencies than the maximum detectable by a human adult, which is about 16 kilohertz. Mics were set up at a distance of about 4 inches or 10 centimeters from each plant, including tomatoes, grapevines, tobacco, wheat, corn, cactus, and I don't know what a henbit is, but
No idea.
henbit. Before recording the plants, the team subjected them to various treatments. Some plants had not been watered for 5 days. Some had their stems cut, and some were untouched.
It just sounds like they're
Just
recording torture.
Torture,
sounds.
yeah, right. Tell me where it's at.
Yeah, exactly. Where are they?
Where's the rainbow? Our intention was to test whether the plants emit sounds and whether these sounds are affected in any way by the plant's condition. Our recordings indicated that the plants in our experiment emitted sounds at frequencies of 40 to 80 kilohertz. Unstressed plants emitted less than 1 sound per hour on average, while the stressed plants, both dehydrated and injured, emitted dozens of sounds every hour. The recordings collected in this way were analyzed by specifically developed machine learning AI algorithms. The algorithms learned how to distinguish between different plants and different types of sounds, and were ultimately able to identify the plant and determine the type and level of stress from the recordings. Moreover, the algorithms identified and classified plant sounds even when the plants were placed in a greenhouse with a great deal of background noise. In the greenhouse, the researchers monitored plants subjected to a process of dehydration over time and found that the quantities of sound they emitted increased to a certain peak and then diminished. In this study, we resolved a very old scientific controversy. We proved that plants do emit sounds, said Hadani. Apparently, an idyllic field of flowers can be a rather noisy place. It's just that we can't hear the sounds.
You know the classic the classic thing of like two people running together through a field of flowers and what I mean. Just in the background, sound yeah, just screaming.
Yeah. I feel like when I'm eating a burger, the cow doesn't care. But when I'm eating a salad, it's screaming for its life. And all I'm going to hear is that going forward. It's like, no, no. And then you're just eating it little by little as it's screaming.
Does this mean that vegans are the real monsters?
They are. They are. They are. Okay. We assume that in nature the sounds are detected by creatures nearby, such as bats, rodents, various insects, and possibly also other plants that can hear the high frequencies and derive relevant information. We believe that humans can also utilize this information given the right tools, such as sensors, that tell growers when plants need watering. Future studies will explore a range of intriguing questions. What is the mechanism behind the plant sounds? How do moths detect and react to sounds emitted by plants? And do other plants also hear these sounds? And of course, they have a bunch of other questions too, but we're not going to get into that. So I'm going to close this.
That's hilarious.
I know, right? I'm actually...
All I can think about now is just how loud a greenhouse probably is.
You're like, I'm going to pick this nice rose right next to its family of other roses. And it's like, no, 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 no. They cut it. It's taken off. And it's like, oh!
Yeah.
And all the other roses are like, Dad, come back. Dad, please. I just watched my face do the replay, and it's just kind of funny. Anyway, we hope to be back next Thursday at the same time.
Hopefully, yes.
Eventually, I think the piping above the studio is going to get like new water pipes or something up there.
Think so.
We might have to shut down temporarily or permanently, depending on the piping, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on how it works.
I don't know what to expect there. But we do hope to see you next Thursday.
Yep.
And if you guys have anything that you can send us for a story, here's our Discord one more time. And we appreciate Alicidra, Drapsnat, Lisa Bay, Kata Lurks, Ella, and all the other ones that I might have already signed off. Thank you for watching, and have a great, great week.
See you guys.